I kind of just write down now if I think of new tips and tricks, and I got enough that I think it's time for a sequel. So I'll start out with the more like guitar actual techniques and stuff, and then I'll slowly drift off into kind of just my ramblings. So first one is, this is kind of what I've been talking about in all those chord chemistry videos I've been posting, which I do have an update, follow-up, new practice routine video. I think it's gonna help. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'm gonna be able to do it today and post it tomorrow. Whatever. So I was learning the 2 and the 3, and I was playing this riff. I started like hitting this riff, and I was like, "What is this?" Like, which you might recognize. See if you notice what happens in like a second. So windmill for the land, learn forever hand in hand. Take it all in on your stride. It is shaking, falling right here. Love forever, love is free. Let's turn forever, you and me. Na na na, know the words. It is shaking, falling. So pretty much, it's taking those smaller pieces of the chords, because you can go a full E flat minor chord to a full B flat minor to a full G sharp minor. But something that's cool is if you know all these 3 string chords, you can kind of like get a different sound. So instead of going, you can go. But I mean, you got way more possibilities. You can go, you can take this E flat. So it's just cool to know where all the spots are, like all of your E flat minors are, all of your B flat minors. I mean, and you don't even have to know it like that way. You can know it as, like, I'm not thinking of it that way. I'm thinking of it as, oh, here's my 6th chord. And I know where all my 3 chords are in relation to my 6 chords and all my other 6 chords and all my other whatevers. So that's a really good thing to learn. Now, all those chord chemistry videos that I'm posting are on that. If they do seem complicated or whatever, if you have any questions, I'll totally answer. So that's the first thing. I just thought that was kind of cool. Like, I'm probably gonna re-evaluate the way I play a lot of songs, and maybe like if I can find something cool to switch it up with, then I'll try that out. The next thing, this is kind of a music theory thing. Your 4 chord, the minor 4 sounds really like cool, somber. Again, I'm gonna talk about this tomorrow or in the next video. I might record it today, but like, so we'll try like a 1. I'll go a 1 to a 6 to a 4 to a minor 4, and you'll be like, oh, I know that sound. Like, my 1, my 6, my 4, my minor 4, and it's like, oh, and then, you know, whatever. It's just a cool thing, man. If you go from 4 to the minor 4, it gets that sound, like, very recognizable, sad, somber. You can catch it back on the 1 and be happy again. Another one is the major 3. Like, this I found by accident. I just played my 4 in the wrong spot. I practice all those chord chemistry things. Like, when I practice it, I do it with my eyes closed. You might have seen me start playing these songs with my eyes closed because it's kind of a habit now, which I think is a good habit. But a 6 to 2 to 1 to major 3. That sounded really cool, man. So let's try it out. That's your major 3. And the reason it works is because it's like secondary dominant. 3 is the 5 of 6, and going from like a chord or a note's 5th to its 1. Shit, man, I'm not gonna be the best person at explaining this, but it'll always work. Just Just know that. Look up secondary dominant if you really want to like see the theory behind it. But that's a cool progression. I wasn't gonna talk about this, but if you are like a songwriter person, man, practice writing lyrics. That's like my worst skill probably on this. I can spend like a whole day, write like 2 verses, and then look at it the next day and be like, what the fuck, like this sucks. But I've done it like a whole bunch of times, and the only way to get better at it is to do it. And I found on my phone like all these old songs, like a ton of old songs that I thought that they were all like meh, like kind of shitty at the time. I must have, but looking back at them, I'm like, hey, some of these aren't that bad. So I got to revisit those. But that's just something, you know, if that's what you want to do, be like a songwriter, don't neglect your lyric writing. I wasn't gonna talk about that, but all right, next thing, learn how to change your strings. If you're like kind of a beginner, man, learn how to change your strings. Like I used to hate doing it, or I would like try not to, because it's like I just spent money on these strings. I don't want to fuck it up and like waste all the money I spent on these strings. But it's totally worth knowing how to do. I learned from this YouTube video. I think it was posted by Taylor Guitars. That's the brand that makes this bad boy over here, which I love this guitar. I just got these new shiny bridge pins because my other ones were all chewed up. But it's really out of tune right now. The strings just a little stretching out. But yeah, watch Taylor Guitars video. He does a good job. One thing I do want to mention, I don't know if he mentions in it, is when you do it, like to prevent fret buzz, I think the dude at Guitar Center, the guy who set up that Taylor, taught me this. If you use a mechanical pencil, like your one lead pencil, whatever you call it, and when you have the strings off, just color in the nut. That's how you lube the nut, is by drawing in it with mechanical pencil. So just get all up in there and make it all graphite-y. It's gonna sound better. So that's just one little extra tip. Oh, actually, also, so here's what you're gonna need for it. Probably, unless you have a pair of pliers. Get one of these things so you can clip your strings. It's definitely worth it. This thing probably cost me like $10. I've had it forever though, so I don't really know. Just to clip the strings. And I don't know what the fuck. Dude, I don't know who actually uses these things, because these are like, it's definitely harder to wind it this way. Because this thing isn't like, it's not like it has any give to it than to just use your finger. But I thought of this invention, but it was already invented. But it's awesome, man. I'm so glad I looked it up. It's Music Nomad is the brand, and it's basically, if you have a drill, like you put the check it out. You put the tuning peg in there. I'll do it on this thing. I neglect this chord guitar. Pretty much, say I wanted to detune it. Which way am I going with that? Going towards me. Yeah. All right. You just, and then it's done. But it's way more helpful for when you're putting the strings back on, because you gotta kind of like hold the tension with your hand. And it's just like, it can take a while to tighten it up that way while you're holding it with your hand, which usually kind of hurts. So if you just use this thing, and you can do it like right away, which is real nice. This is what it looks like. It's called Music Nomad. I think I got it on Amazon. It was cheap. So yeah. Oh, also put your drill on really low tension or torque, whatever, while you do that, just to protect the guitar. All right, next up. Oh, my favorite strings. I wanted to mention this because I kind of switched up my strings for a little bit because they were out of, they're out of my favorite. Oh, here they are. I love these, man. They sound so good. I switched it up. I was getting because I have Diodario strings on my electric guitar, and I really like those. So I got the same kind for the acoustic because they were a little bit cheaper, and I think they were out of these. Like the Guitar Center's always out of these. I got a whole bunch on Sweetwater recently, but these sound awesome. They last way longer. I like the Diodario electrics a lot. Like I'm gonna roll with those for electric. But man, on the acoustic, it was after 6 days. Like the the G string got like all denty on the where the frets are, and so if you bend it, it would just like choke out the sound right there, which was kind of annoying, man, because it was just annoying. But I've had these ones on for a few weeks and I really like them, so these are good. Also, all right, next up. Oh, if you drop your picks a lot, if you're like kind of starting out and you drop your picks a lot, this is what I used to use like when I was in high school. I didn't really even play guitar in high school, but I had a guitar. But these 0.46 millimeter USA nylon Jim Dunlop, like it's basically like a piece of paper. They're kind of like, that's what it sounds like with that. That's what it sounds like with the pick that I use. So it's a different sound, but it's just super easy to strum the strings. So if you're dropping the pick, you can get used to it with these things. It's what I used to use, and probably made me better. Oh, this is my favorite pick right now. I like these ones. These Jazz 3 Tortex 1.14 millimeter. They're awesome. I'm sure. I mean, your favorite pick is going to be totally up to you, but that's mine. Next page. Oh, here we go. This is starting to leave actual guitar stuff and going on to other stuff. So yeah, if you're getting bored of just like jamming songs, if that's like what you are mostly doing, and you're starting to get bored of it, or you don't have any new songs, try learning like some actual boring shit, like scales, or like just music theory, or like just like actual boring stuff, because it actually might inspire you, and it'll be yeah, it might inspire you, and you'll get better for it. And that's what happens to me, man. I'll get bored of songs, and then I'll go and I'll try and learn something else, and then it'll be cool, and then I get too into that, and I'm like, I want to go jam songs again, and then I get back into it. It's just a way to kind of stay motivated. Like, if you're getting bored of what you're doing, switch it up and learn something else. Works. Oh, the phases of learning something new. Like, so yeah, it's like you'll be like, oh, I understand scales now, or whatever, and then you're like all pumped about it, and then you're like, oh, dude, this like infinity scales, like this is too much, and then you'll start to actually, like, it'll all start to make sense in your head if you stick with it, like stick through the confusion phase, and then it starts being kind of cool, and then you get good at it, and then you get to a point where you don't even think about it, and it's just like natural, comes out natural to you, and that's where you want to be. Oh yeah, it's important for stacking skills to get to this level. I wrote that. Like, okay, like, yeah, if you can't sing while you play yet, like, once you can do if you can do your chords without thinking at all, like, you're not, you know, like, you're never gonna be able to sing while you play until you can do your chords without even, like, without it taking up any mental capacity. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's good to get to the level where you don't think. And then if you're getting frustrated with all that, go back to just jamming, having fun. Here we go. This is a good one. The water bottle on a phone technique. It's what I do, and like, cause I get distracted, and I'll like pick up my phone, especially if I'm trying to learn something tough. I'll like, my mind will kind of look for something else to distract me from working on whatever I am working on. So what I do is I put my phone face down. I can't do it right now because I use my phone to record these, but put my phone face down. So pretend this pack of strings is my phone. I'll take this water bottle and I put it on the phone, and then it's like if I go and I reach my phone, it's like, oh, right, I'm doing this. So I'll make myself have a drink of water, and I won't check the phone. So then I stay hydrated and I stay focused. So that's a little thing I do, and it seems to work pretty good. Oh, and also, like, don't think you're wasting time ever while you're playing. Even if you're playing the same song that you've played a million times, like, it still is going to benefit you, because the time is going to come where somebody's going to say, oh, like, can you play a song? And then that's the time where you're like, oh shit, I know a million songs, but now I forgot them all. But if you have that one song that you played a million times and you can do it in your sleep, then you can rock that one and look like a boss. Alright, and now this is just a word to the youngsters. This isn't really guitar related, but I don't know, I think it might have been cool to hear when I was a youngster. Pretty much like, dude, you're gonna get to a point in your life where like everybody in your life has a different, this has nothing to do with guitar, everybody in your life has a different version of you that they want you to be, like a different idea of who they want you to be. Like for example, like I would want you to be a nasty guitar player. Your best buddy might want you to do something else or be something else. Your parents would want you to be something else. You know, your other friend would want you to be something else or whatever. But don't even sweat about any of that. Just be you and follow your heart, because you know, if it's not gonna work out exactly how you hope, it never does. That's not how any of it works. But you'll be proud that you did. Promise you. So that's my my word to the youngsters. So that's about all I got. It's actually ended up being pretty long. Probably gonna record another video, follow up to chord chemistry right now. So I'm wearing the same shirt tomorrow. It's really just today. So peace.